What if I told you that four young men from a working-class English town would change music forever? What if behind their fame were stories of struggle, disappointment, creativity, and even rivalry? This isn't just about the greatest band in rock and roll history. This is the journey of the Beatles. From childhood dreams to global fame, from personal turmoil to timeless music. Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy true stories, unforgettable transformations, and the hidden sides of your favorite artists, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay until the end. You might be surprised at how much you didn't know about the Fab Four. Early life and family history. The Beatles' story begins in Liverpool, England, a city rebuilding after World War II. Each of the members, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, came from modest, often challenging backgrounds. John Lennon was born on October 9, 1940. His father, a merchant seaman, was often away, and young John was raised by his Aunt Mimi. Despite the emotional scars of his early family life, John developed a sharp wit and rebellious personality that would later define his music. Paul McCartney, born in 1942, lost his mother to cancer when he was 14. His father, a jazz musician, encouraged his sons to pursue a career in music. Paul found solace in songwriting and soon became a self-taught guitarist. George Harrison, the youngest, born in 1943, was quiet, spiritual, and deeply influenced by Indian culture in adulthood. He joined the band as a teenager and proved to be a deeply creative and underrated member. Ringo Starr, born Richard Starkey in 1940, spent much of his childhood in hospital due to illness. He eventually turned to music for solace, becoming one of the most iconic drummers of all time. Early band. The Beatles officially began as John's skiffle group, the Quarrymen. Paul joined in 1957, followed by George. They bonded over a shared love of Elvis, Chuck Berry, and Buddy Holly. In 1960, the band traveled to Hamburg, Germany, and performed in nightclubs under harsh conditions. Little sleep, hostile audiences, and even arrests. These gigs, though difficult, honed their skills and forged their identity. They returned to Liverpool more united, louder, and more confident. In 1962, with Ringo Starr replacing drummer Pete Best and Brian Epstein as manager, they signed with EMI Records. Producer George Martin became in many ways the fifth Beatle, refining their sound and fueling their creativity. Explosion of fame and Beatlemania. Their first single, Love Me Do, set the stage, but it was Please Please Me and She Loves You that started the craze. Beatlemania exploded in the UK and then around the world. Their 1964 appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show marked the moment America fell in love. Fans screamed so loudly at their shows that the band could barely hear themselves. Their 1965 performance at Shea Stadium set a record with over 55,000 fans, the largest rock concert at the time. Behind the scenes, the pressure was mounting. Endless touring, interviews, and media scrutiny began to take their toll. Creative evolution and conflicts. Tired of touring, the band focused on innovating in the studio. Albums like Rubber Soul, Revolver, and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band redefined what rock could be. They experimented with orchestras, Indian instruments, and even recording backwards. But tensions grew. John became increasingly involved with Yoko Ono. Paul took more control in the studio. George's spiritual journey took center stage, and Ringo often felt marginalized. Personal life, love, and struggles. The Beatles' love lives were equally complex. John's turbulent relationship with Yoko Ono became a focus of controversy. Paul had a long relationship with Jane Asher before marrying Linda McCartney. George married model Pattie Boyd, who later left him for Eric Clapton. Ringo married twice and struggled with alcoholism. Each member also dealt with fame differently. John sought peace but became a political figure. George found solace in Eastern spirituality. Paul focused on family life and music. Ringo, always playful, quietly battled his personal demons. Where are they now? John Lennon was tragically murdered in 1980 outside his New York City apartment. A loss that shocked the world. George Harrison died in 2001 after a battle with cancer and is remembered as the soul of the Beatles. Today, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr continue to perform and release music. Paul, now in his 80s, remains one of the world's richest musicians. With an estimated net worth of more than $1 billion. Ringo also continues to tour with his all-star band and lives between homes in England and the United States. Personality and backstage. John was witty, sarcastic, and deeply sensitive. Paul was diplomatic and perfectionist. George was introspective and spiritual. Ringo was cheerful and reliable. They weren't just bandmates. They were brothers, rivals, and co-creators of a phenomenon. Controversy and criticism. Their journey was not without controversy. John's "more popular than Jesus" comment sparked outrage in the United States. Paul and Yoko were blamed for the band's breakup. Business disputes with manager Alan Klein led to bitter legal battles. But the split, while painful, allowed each member to explore their own path, and in some ways made their legacy even more powerful. Records and legacy. The Beatles remain the best-selling music group of all time. They have sold more than 600 million records worldwide. Their songs have been covered more than any other, and Yesterday remains one of the most recorded songs in history. They are inductees of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Grammy and Oscar winners, and cultural icons whose influence extends far beyond music to fashion, film, politics, and philosophy. Fun facts and little-known facts. The Beatles were originally called the Silver Beatles. George Harrison was just 15 when he joined the band. Ringo Starr's real name is Richard Starkey. Paul McCartney has been declared legally dead in a conspiracy theory that still circulates. They were awarded an MBE by the Queen in 1965, causing outrage among traditionalists. Their last live performance was on a London rooftop, unannounced, chaotic, and legendary. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the incredible lives of the Beatles. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. What's your favorite Beatles song? Who should we cover next? Your suggestions help keep this community growing and thriving. Until next time, may it be so.